Hello, welcome to Your Time to Shine. Your hosts, Darlene and Julie.
Your Time to Shine is a radio show inviting you to find your own divine gifts.
So tonight, Julie and I have an interesting topic that we've been talking about. And what Julie and I really enjoy doing, as far as working with our clients, is bringing you to an awareness of your own psychic gifts. And we all have them, and we would love for everybody to be able to tap into their own intuition and trust, not just tap into it, but learn and grow to trust yourself. So life and your choices are fuller, and they're more coming from you and your heart. So tonight we wanted to talk about awareness of those gifts and what's going on around us that's keeping us from being aware of the gifts that we have and from the signs that Spirit is giving us. So Julie, did you want to get started with awareness?
Absolutely. So awareness, very interesting. I was looking at something online yesterday, and it was talking about awareness, and I thought, how interesting. So I actually kind of sat down and thought about that. What does awareness, what does that look like? And we are so technologically driven in the age that we're in right now. Everything is about electronics. We're always plugged in, and we don't take enough time or spend enough time to unplug to really understand our surroundings. And for instance, take your normal day. What did you all do today? Well, you probably got up and had breakfast and went to work. But how aware are you of your drive into work? Do you remember what streets you passed? Do you remember what cars you drove by, or what cars drove by you? The buildings? Did you have a river, running alongside of you as you drove into work today? So all of this is being in awareness. And today, as I was driving, I had an awareness of Spirit around me. And it was a very unusual time. I wasn't expecting it. And that's exactly when Spirit takes the opportunity to come in and want to sit down and have a chat. It's when your mind is completely free and clear. And you can't do that if you're plugged into technology all the time. So I invite everybody to, take 10 or 15 minutes to unplug. Go for a walk in nature. Sit and stare at the clouds. Hug a tree. Whatever it is for you, to get back into awareness and to feel your body. And that's when you can tap into Spirit and see what they're trying to tell you.
And it can also be really fun. So I know a lot of people, and your clients do this, Julie, they want to know past loved ones, people who've crossed over, or pets. I know people are very connected to their animals. And they often say, oh, well, I haven't heard from them. Are they okay? If you do what Julie is talking about, you take the time to unplug, you take the time to clear your mind, they're there. They are always there. And they're always wanting to talk to us and give us messages. So if we unplug and become aware of what's going around us, we become aware of our bodies, we can start to sense their presence. It might be a tingle in our bodies, or sometimes something will literally go through our bodies. You can feel a breeze. And just those little, little feather reminders that they're with us. And it really takes just a minute to ground yourself, feel your feet on the floor or feel your feet on the ground, or like Julie said, take a minute to hug a tree. We're in Portland, so that's what we do. Everybody thinks. And just take that time. And I wanted to also play a game. Julie, would you like to play a game?
Sounds great.
Okay, and it's about awareness. So what I want you to do is look around the space that you're in, the room you're in, wherever that is, and look around and notice the color blue. Now, look around in all directions, above you, all around. Now, close your eyes. And I want you to remember now what was around you that was green. So it's a little game you can play with yourself or with other people where you look for one thing and then you close your eyes and you sort of have an idea of all of the other things that you're conscious of when you're playing the game. So I loved doing that. I was in a workshop with people, and we all played the game, and it was amazing to really see what our bodies are noticing that our eyes necessarily aren't.
Right.
And it's really fun to play with your awareness. And how much are we missing by being plugged in? How many opportunities pass by us? And you know, if you're wanting to grow your intuitive gifts and your psychic gifts, that's what it's going to take, to unplug and to be more in that space of embodiment and noticing more what's around you. And one of the ways I did that was I did Reiki training. So I did something that was involving playing with energy, being more aware of even the most subtle differences that were in my surroundings. So something like that you can play with your awareness, different modalities. If you feel that you're a healer, your awareness could be more of an attention towards something like energy work. Or if you're more of a visual learner, you might want to start, you can start playing with card decks and being aware of not just reading what the messages are on the cards, but you yourself can start doing readings with cards by looking at the pictures. What else is Spirit telling us through an oracle deck? Each picture has its own meaning that's in it. So everything that you can do to raise your awareness.
Absolutely. So I just have to say that when you said close your eyes and then tell me what you saw that was green, of course, my first reaction was, I didn't see anything green. So, you know, right there, that's what your mind automatically goes to, right? What your physical eye and your physical mind sees. But if you sit there and clear your mind, and like Darlene said, listen to your body, listen to what comes to you, you may be able to remember more than what you think you are. It's because Spirit is talking with you.
Right. And it's also how detectives do their work, too. And it's amazing when they ask witnesses, okay, what they saw, they start to remember more and more once the right questions are asked. So our initial reaction is, oh, I didn't see anything. But then the more time you give it, your brain has memory, has recall.
Right. Absolutely.
So play with that. That's more fun to be in a world unplugged for a little bit and see what's around you, see what Spirit might be showing you. It could be feathers on the ground. It could be numbers all around you that mean something from the angels. It could be a loved one sending you a message or a smell. So play with that. And it looks like we have a caller, Phyllis in Smithfield, Virginia.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Phyllis. Good. How are you tonight?
Pretty good.
Good. So what is it that Julie and I can assist you with?
I'm real curious about my mother. She's been dead since 2001, but I've never really seen anything, or I've had dreams before, but not really she just has never been there, I don't think. You know what I mean? I just haven't really felt her. And I've just been curious, why not? Or, I don't know. I've just wondered about her.
So what do you do when you're wanting to communicate with her? Is there a way that you prepare yourself? So this is beautiful. So what Julie and I were just talking about, how is it that you can prepare your body to communicate? Are you in a quiet space? Are you in a place where you can quiet your mind, not just what's around you, but your mind as well? Can you do a little meditation beforehand? So what does the setup look like when you try to communicate with her?
Well, I don't know if I try to communicate with her. I just, I feel like I've never really felt she was around. And once she was gone, she was literally gone. I would have dreams about her sometimes and hear her voice in the dreams. And, like tonight, earlier, I heard my daughter laugh, and I literally heard my mom. It's just really strange. But so I don't know if I've ever really sat down and thought about that per se. But I know, like with other people, I've been able to know that their loved one was around, which is weird to me too. But just I've never felt anything from my mom. Never.
So I'm getting a sense. I mean, it was immediate. She's saying that she is there. You're blocking her for some reason. You have a physical barrier, not literally a physical barrier, but you have a barrier or a block up against it. I think you're trying too hard. You really, really want to see her, and sometimes that puts us at a place where it tenses us up, and it throws up a block, and it makes it difficult to communicate. So something that you could try, because if you're sensing others around you, you should be able to sense her just as easily. It could be that she's still trying to figure out how to communicate with you. And so it's kind of a learning experience. But try writing your question, or say, I would really like to see you in my dreams tonight. I would like to communicate with you. Write that down and stick it under your pillow. And if it doesn't happen tonight, write it out again and do it tomorrow night. And
well, let me ask you this.
I'm sorry.
I've had some, when she died, there was this forgiveness issue. And I let it go, and I forgave her, and I guess it was a process. But sometimes I feel like I still have unforgiveness for her, and it goes back and forth. You think that could be it?
That could very well be the block. Sometimes when there's things that are done in our human life and we haven't had a chance to process, or maybe it's taking a little bit longer. I know that, I don't know if we've mentioned it here on our show yet, but everybody does grieving in their own way, in their own processes. So it could just be taking a little bit longer. Again, something really good to do to communicate with spirit, or even with your own self, is to just write it all out on a piece of paper and then burn it. But do it in a way that it's very purposeful, very spiritual. So, don't just go and, throw it in your fireplace or whatever. I mean, make a little sanctuary out of it. Take a bowl, put some rocks in it, and let it burn, and see if that will help release some of those feelings.
Right. And I had that with my father. My father and I had distance from each other, and I hadn't seen him for years when I found out he died. And I made the choice that, yes, okay, I'm ready to communicate with him. I'm still angry, but I still would like to talk to him and tell him how I'm feeling. I invited him in at that point. I said, I'm going to sit down. I would like you to come in, and I'm going to tell you how I felt about what happened, what you did, what I did. And he showed up. He was there immediately. And we had the most beautiful conversation. And they want nothing more than to hear us and to say they're sorry. And when they're on the other side, it's easier for us then to communicate with them. And, you know, I told my dad, I said, I'm still mad at you, but I would like to communicate with you. And we actually resolved a lot of our issues. And in that grieving process, by inviting him in, maybe that's it.
Yeah. I struggle. You know, I want to hear from her, but I struggle. I think I want to hear from her more than I struggle, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so invite her in. You know, I sat down in my living room on my couch. I said, okay, Dad, I'm inviting you here, and, you know, be sure that I'm going to say some things that I've been wanting to say for years. And I unloaded my heart, and I felt so much better. And now our communication is much easier and more clear because I was able to get rid of that. And I was, not that it wasn't necessarily forgiveness, but I was then able to allow myself to hear his side of the story. And magic happened.
Right.
So it's that that choice that you're making. Okay, I'm ready to talk to you, and now I'm inviting you in, and then see what happens.
So she's been around, you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And there's a part of you that does that. Your heart knows that she's there. And that's how some people will communicate once they cross over, is through dreams. It's the safest way, because then we don't push them away if we're sleeping.
Yeah, I have had that a couple times. It's been a while. It's always her. I remember going to her house and getting in her refrigerator because she always made leftovers that I wanted. It's the crazy thing. But, yeah, it was like that was my favorite thing, you know.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, let us know. I'm curious. Let us know what happens.
Yeah.
You can go to our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and you let us know if she comes on through. Okay? All right. Thanks, Phyllis.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Heather in Robertsville, Missouri. Hi, Heather. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Tonight.
So what question
Are you there?
do you have? Yeah, what question? How can we help you tonight?
I feel like I am under spiritual attack. I feel like my boyfriend and I are definitely under spiritual attack. Last night I took a picture, a selfie, and in there you can see demons, and I have done everything I possibly can think of to get rid of them. I need help and guidance.
Okay, so the first thing I'll say, then Julie, you can jump in because you're nodding your head. The first thing to remember, always, 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 you are potent and more powerful than anything, any demons, any spirit, and it's your choice. If you want them to leave, you do an entity clearing, leave now, and what doesn't ever allow that, I now destroy and uncreate. You have power and you have control over absolutely everything. It's just an energy.
I'm not scared of them.
Cool. And
they don't scare me anymore.
Yeah, it's not about being scared. It's about, okay, I'm in control. You need to leave.
Right.
Julie, anything to add to that? Julie? What do you think, Julie? Huh? She lose?
Oh?
Yeah, I'm here.
I literally have burned sage and palo today alone. I have a feeling I know where it's coming from, but it's definitely trying to fulfill.
So I know that, I would be more than happy. I think what needs to happen is you need to do a clearing on your house. I would be more than happy to help you with something like that. You can get me on the Facebook page, or there's other people that we can put you in touch with, who that's all they do is entity clearing, and then they can come in and clear your house and your surroundings and your belongings, and that should take care of them.
And it's something they can do from a distance, too. They don't have to physically
They don't have to physically be there. Exactly.
Okay.
And someone's allowing them in, Heather.
Well, I think it's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think he's been cheating. I think that they've gotten a hold of him, and I think that he doesn't believe in it.
Yeah.
So
as long as he's allowing them, that's who they're hanging around.
But we can also clear people as well. So we can clear we can also clear the people in the house and everything like that. But he also has to put a stop to it as well. But I think the first thing to do is to start clearing.
Yeah.
right.
And also, so we can finish our conversation on our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, because we are running out of time. And yeah, Heather, we can give you some other tips on that if you want to head over there and leave a question.